The 2020 census is a bit more complicated than the previous one in 2010. We are in the middle of a pandemic, and the deadline for completing the census has changed a few times. The Census Bureau says it now plans to finish collecting data by the end of September. But what is the census, and why is it important for everyone to fill it out? The census is when the government conducts a national population count in the country and its territories. The United States Census Bureau collects this data every 10 years.
The census is mandated by the Constitution for the sole purposes of apportionment. That's to determine how many seats each state gets in the House of Representatives. So that's why we want to get a complete and accurate count of local communities, because we want each community to get their fair share representation in Congress.
And the data impacts political representation in Congress at all levels, at the state, federal, and local. The census data is also used as a guide to help decide each year how hundreds of billions of dollars in federal funding will impact each community.
When you bring it down to the local level, communities in the Los Angeles area and across the Southland, different agencies different groups rely on census data, because hundreds of billions of dollars in federal funding go back to local communities, and they use census data to determine what fair share each community gets. These are things like Pell Grants, Medicaid, Medi-Cal, all types of services that we use every day. And so that is why it is our mission to make sure that every single person is counted.
That's right, everyone in the U.S. should be counted. Citizens, adults, children, everyone. And there is no question on the census if someone is a citizen.
I know that in Los Angeles County, there are a lot of communities that are concerned about privacy and sharing their information with the Census Bureau. We want to let people know that their information is protected by law and cannot be used against them by local law enforcement.
The 2020 census deadline has been rescheduled twice. According to the U.S. Census, the first deadline was scheduled for July 31st. Then it was moved to October 31st to give more time to folks to respond due to COVID-19. Finally, the census adjusted the deadline to September 30th.
We have a statutory mandate to get the data collected and delivered by December 31st of 2020. So we needed to have everything done by September 30th. And so what we've been able to do is we've just added more employees, more census takers.
You can fill out the census in 3 different ways: by phone, mail, and for the first time, online. When filling out the census, you will come across simple questions about yourself and everyone who is living with you on April 1st of this year. And remember, the deadline to finish it is by September 30th.